Hello everyone and welcome to the High School OT Jamboree. It's time for our third game of the evening, and some would say it's our biggest game of the evening. Number 5, Cardinal Gibbons, that's number 5 in the state, taking on number 7, Rolesville. These two teams have high hopes for this year. Gibbons reached the 4A semifinal last year. They are now 7A, and they lost to this team, Rolesville, in that semifinal. Rolesville was the state runner-up. Rolesville, they have high hopes this year, but they're in a different classification than Gibbons. They will be playing in the 8A classification. These two teams met twice last year. Both were classics. Both were won by Rolesville. We get started here with quarterback for Gibbons, Gannon Jones, who is committed to Wake Forest University. And he will hand it off, and we are started here in this one. I am J. Mike Blake. Joining me on this broadcast is Jonas Pope IV. Jonas, what are you looking for this one? Because you were at one, if not both of those. You were at one, and I was at the other of those classic matchups last year.
Well, everyone knows these are two of the top teams in the area. High-level Division I prospects on both sides. A nice little rivalry that's kind of brewing here in the Triangle. I'm just looking to see if they live up to those expectations of being the two of the top dogs in Raleigh-Durham. Not Raleigh-Durham, in Raleigh and Roseville. And it's to see if, like, that competition level, that competitive level is high already, because we know how good both these teams are. We know there's no love lost between these two teams. I just want to see them compete here in this early season setting.
As actually, it's Connor Lindsay out there, I believe, number 10 for Cardinal Gibbons. He's the backup quarterback, 10. And now Gannon Jones comes back onto the field for Gibbons after Rolesville gets a quick penalty. Gibbons will use their backup quarterback every now and then, but that time he was on the field originally and now off the field. Jones is back there in shotgun formation with trips to his right. Throws one quick, caught, and first down, and wrapped up by a lot of defenders. Complete to tight end Griffin Cockerham. Cockerham has a few Division I offers, including NC State. Last year he played mostly defensive end, but he can also play a little bit of the offensive side of the ball. He'll be doing more of that this year for the Crusaders. First down. Again, our high school OT Jamboree presented by Alpaca Chicken, 2 men in a truck, and the U.S. Army. 24-minute running clock halves. And this is the first drive of this one. The handoff to Noah Terry, avoiding a few tacklers and finally taken down. Picks up a solid 5 or 6 yards. Making the tackle on that one is Jaden Griffin-Haynes, number 0, one of 2 Carolina commits as a senior for Rolesville, one of 3 overall commits on this team. Jaden Griffin-Haynes and his brother Xavion Griffin-Haynes, number 9, are both committed to Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels.
Oh, they switched numbers. He gave his brother his number, I guess, huh? Oh, no. 0 is
0 is Jaden.
Yep.
And 9 is Xavion. 2nd and 5 here for the Crusaders. The handoff is to Terry. Good blocking there.
Ref missed the face mask right there, I think.
No flag coming out for face mask.
Right by the car.
It is going to be a first down.
Right by the Gibbons sideline, too, and all the coaches wanted it. And you saw like a little pushing, a little chattering after the play there. Like I said, these two teams, man, no love lost. A lot of head-to-head battles in the regular season and postseason. So this is what you want to see. You want to see good versus good in the preseason. If you want to be the top dog in the area, you get to show it right here in this scrimmage.
I thought it was the first down, and then it looks like it's actually a yard short, so it'll be 3rd and 1. These two teams are not playing in the regular season this year. They played twice last year. They played a number of times over the last couple of years. However, this is the only time you can catch them in 2025. The handoff is a different running back in there. That is number 28, Aaron Anderson, the senior. He gets a first down. Big hit there by number 23, Tristan Rogers.
And like we know about Gibbons, they're going to execute. They're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to do all the right things, little things, running their plays, running their reads, staying in their lanes, and we've seen it so far with this drive.
And one of the things that I was impressed with Gannon Jones last year, again, he's a Wake Forest recruit, a senior for the Crusaders, is how he picks up things pre-snap. He just knows where he's going with the ball. And in high school, it's tough to learn those pre-snap things that can really help you out. And that's when you get to the NFL, of course, everything comes down to how much a quarterback can process pre-snap and making the right reads. The give here is to Terry, and Gibbons moving the ball steadily here.
Gibbons has found something they like, with their running game so far against Rolesville. And everyone knows Rolesville's strength is right there up front with those guys. Like I said, 2 Carolina commits, a couple other college, couple guys up front with college alphas. Got a 4-star defensive back. No slouches on defense, but Gibbons has found something that's working so far in his first drive.
Gibbons lost one of the best offensive linemen in the state last year, Jack Sheehan, who is now playing at Old Dominion University. And some new starters in there for the Crusaders, but they are still moving. They're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage as another first down. Noah Terry. You got to give it to some of these new guys. Big number 72 on the right side. That's Malik Griffin. This is his first year of varsity football. Played JV last year. Kevin Walsh at left tackle is a senior. He's manning that spot that Jack Sheehan held down. Left guard Aiden Kranick also doing a great job moving the line of scrimmage back and opening up these holes for Terry. 1st and 10. Anderson's got it. Kind of dancing around a little bit, and he's dropped after about a yard.
There we go. Getting animated down there now, J. Mike. Again, 2 teams, no love lost. They've seen each other a lot over the last few years. They both know this team's supposed to be the top dog. No, we're the top dog. We can prove it right here on the grass. Like I said, not going to play during the regular season, so this is the only opportunity. Not in the same division, so this is the only opportunity for them to go head-to-head and show who's boss. Got to get it out of the way now, and it's a little, again, animated is the word I like to use here early in the first half. And the referees are going to stop the action right here for a little bit.
These 2 teams Rolesville is a relatively new school. It's been open less than a decade.
Getting the captains together right now, J. Mike.
Yeah. They met for the first time in the state semifinal in 2021. Noah Rogers was still at Rolesville at that time. Gibbons wins and then wins the 2021 4A championship. That was the first year we had gone back to 4 championships instead of having those subdivided 8 championships. Then they met in the regular season and the playoffs in each of the last 2 years. So that's 4 meetings in 2 years, with Gibbons winning only one of those. That was in the 2023 playoffs. They won in the 4th round and advanced to the East Regional Final and lost to Hoggard that year. So like I said, they played high-stakes games, not just not just good regular season games, but very high-stakes games. Complete pass there from Jones to Cockerham. Gets a few yards. And it'll be a 3rd and 8 here for the Crusaders. So the first time they've had a 3rd and some distance. Probably actually the first time I think they've had a 3rd down on this drive at all, as the clock is now a little under 17 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, they've eaten some clock here, but about to be tested here on 3rd down. And you know Rolesville, with that defensive line, they're gonna pin their ears back and try to get after the quarterback. But again, Gannon Jones, not your average high school quarterback, he can definitely make things happen with his legs and his arms back there.
Jones looking to his right, guns it, and having fallen down on that route, had to pop up and try to gain it. He was looking for Connor McGeehan out there. It was incomplete.
Considering he fell, he still almost caught that ball. That was pretty impressive.
He fell, popped
up. He got him off the ground and still almost caught the ball.
And if I was a betting man, I would say he probably figured, the ball's not coming my way. I fell down on the route. But he actually had enough separation. Jones tried to gun it to him. Fell complete. A little too close to punt, so they're going to go for it here on 4th and 8.
I like it. Jamboree, why not?
Trips to the right.
Unless he does a quick kick, that'd be really
unless it's one of those pooch punts, which Jones can do those. But he's not here. He's going to the air. And a left side into double coverage, and I think he caught it.
Yep.
They're going to say incomplete. Incomplete. He caught it, but he landed out of bounds. Hudson Van Dyke trying to bring that in.
Yeah, I don't care that he landed out of bounds. He caught that. He brought the ball in, not a legal catch. He did land out of bounds, but he brought that ball in between two defenders, took contact, and still held on. You don't forget that. It doesn't count, but don't forget that a play like that was made against your defense. And again, everybody on the field, a little talking, a little chatter. Whenever we get to see the Rolesville offense on the field for the first time. I love the animation that's going on, how animated this game is so far, Jay Mike.
Yeah, definitely the most talking I've seen after an incompleted pass from the team that was charged with the incompletion. 14:48 on the clock, and now Rolesville gets the ball for the first time. The reigning 4A East champs. They were finished runner-up to Grimsley in last year's 4A state championship. The good news for Rolesville, Grimsley is not in their classification. They're 8A. But there is another defending champ in their classification. There's West Charlotte. It starts the year ranked #1 in the high school T statewide top 25. West Charlotte won 3A and was actually a large enough school that they'll be in 8A this year. First pass is completed for big yards. A good pickup of about 15, 16 there. As we get our first look at quarterback, trying to see the number. Caleb Williams with a pass. Gavin Waddell on the catch.
New quarterback, same system. Throw the ball to Waddell. You got these dangerous receivers on the outside. Make the quarterback make life a lot easier for the quarterback. That was a confusion.
Oh, wow. The handoff to Amir Brown was what? So that time, you actually had Caleb Williams turning to his left shoulder. Amir Brown was coming off his right shoulder, and it gets to him eventually, but he's dropped for a big loss.
It looked early on like that's when you missed Braden Atkinson, a guy who's a 3-year starter at quarterback who probably knew this offense in his sleep. But again, it's preseason, yeah. So hey, it happens.
Atkinson now at Mercer University, but a lot of his targets are back. And in steps Caleb Williams, who last year was at Holly Springs. So going from one end of the county to the other. He's got an open receiver again here, complete down the right sideline. That's Caleb Kearney on the catch. And a first down for Rolesville. It's finding some soft spots in the Gibbons defense here as the clock ticks under 13 minutes in the first half.
You just plug in 117 from last year to a new guy, and he just looks the part. Like you said, a lot of those targets from last year are back with Waddell, Roberts, Brown in the backfield. So it makes life a lot easier for a new quarterback. He seems comfortable. I mean, besides that handoff that was botched, but he seems comfortable back there finding his targets. Don't forget Davis Brown, the tight end, as well, is another guy who's back as a pass catcher.
Handoff here is to Amir Brown, the junior running back, and he's trying to break out some tackles, but there's a lot of Gibbons tacklers there to meet him. Brown, a junior who is committed to UNC. We told you there was a third UNC committed to this team. The other two are seniors. Amir Brown was a freshman at Cardinal Gibbons, so he's going against former teammates here and has been going against former teammates if you consider they met twice last year. He picks up about a yard on that one. Drake Stone, one of the first tacklers in there for Gibbons.
Like I said, Amir Brown, one of 3 UNC commits, one of 4 juniors on this class, a 4-star, ranked in the top 10 of the 247 Sports rankings for the class of 2027. Again, talent all over the field on both sides of the ball for both teams.
Williams throwing. He's got, I believe that's tight end Davis Brown in the flat. Avoids the first tackler. He's got a first down. The Florida international recruit gets the Rams inside the red zone. We're going to take a brief timeout on the field as there's a couple of injured players down. And we will take a quick break as both training staffs will attend to those here at the high school T Jamboree. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's your time to move things forward. U.S. Army Reserve.
It's more than a move. It's a new job for her. A new baseball team for him. And for Badger, it's a new yard with more room to roam. It's more than a move. And we're more than a truck.
Alpaca Peruvian Chicken is great at office lunches, team lunches, tailgating, and football games. Place your next catering order at Alpaca so you and your friends can enjoy the best rotisserie chicken in the area. Taste their legendary flavor and homemade pride at 18 locations across the Triangle, Fayetteville, Mebane, Wilmington, Sanford, and now Wilson. Alpaca Peruvian Chicken, home of North Carolina's favorite chicken and a proud supporter of high school OT and football teams across the state.
And we are back at the High School T Jamboree presented by Alpaca Chicken, 2 Men in a Truck, and the U.S. Army. Rolesville's in the red zone. The handoff here is to Amir Brown. He gets a good number of yards, about 7. No score so far at our 3rd game out of 5 here at the High School T Jamboree, and the stands are looking pretty good. Great crowd for this one, and why wouldn't there be a great crowd for this one? As you can see, both teams ranked top 10 in the state. After this, we still have 2 more, though. Wake Forest and Middle Creek coming up, and then to finish us off for the night, Millbrook and Southeast Raleigh. This is Caleb Williams, quarterback, handing off to Amir Brown. He's got a first down. Can he get in? Really close, but just short. It's enough for a first down, however.
Amir Brown also does not skip leg day. It's a great push. He met a group right at the line of scrimmage. Just kept put his head down. Just kept pushing.
Yeah, it'll be first down and goal at the 1 after that carry by Brown, who always seems to fall forward after first contact. 10 minutes left in the first half of this one. Extra blocker back there. Hand off to Brown. He's in. Touchdown, Rolesville. .950 on the clock here in the first half, and the Rams have struck first on their first drive.
That's what you do. I mean, you ride your 4-star running back. Again, Amir Brown was the guy who split carries last year with Devon Thomas, and now he's the guy this year. He's the focal point. He's going to get all the carries he needs this year, and he showed you right there why he's a UNC commit, can do it all. I'm curious to see how he looks this year as the feature guy.
Taking this extra point is a unique talent. Second team All-State in soccer. First team All-State kicker punter Riley Daniels. Left-footed Riley Daniels. Extra point is on the way, and it is good. And Rolesville's lead is 7-0. Our game is sponsored by Alpaca Peruvian Chicken, which is a great option at office lunches, at team lunches, tailgate, football games. I've had some here at the press box today. It's fantastic. Place your next catering order with Alpaca so you and your friends can enjoy the best rotisserie chicken from one of their 18 locations located across the Triangle, Fayetteville, Mebane, Wilmington, Sanford, and now Wilson. They're in the 252, Jonas Pope IV. I know you appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Alpaca Peruvian Chicken. They are going to be catering our game of the week. I'll have more on that in a little bit. Feeding the teams this delicious rotisserie chicken. Cardinal Gibbons is at the 20 to start this drive. We have no live kicking situations, no kickoffs. We have punts, but no returns. And Rolesville gets in the backfield for the first time since in a while, because Gibbons was actually moving the ball pretty well on the ground there. Noah Terry dropped for a loss of 4.
It looks like defensive coordinator Kevin Reddick, former UNC and New Orleans Saints linebacker, made some adjustments there. And like you said, they were all in the backfield there. Nowhere to run for the Crusaders.
Reddick played his high school ball at
New Bern
High School.
State championship, right? Won
Yes.
State championship. Ended Independence Streak, right?
Yeah, ended Independence
Keep 'em coming.
title streak.
Keep 'em
Yeah.
coming. Keep 'em coming.
Back in the subdivided era. Handoff here to Noah Terry. He's just shy of the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 11. Coming up here for the Crusaders.
Again, it's danger zone if you're Cardinal Gibbons, because at this point, Rolesville can just pin their ears back, drop their guys back into coverage, and get after the quarterback. I like those Gibbons uniforms, man. Always on uniform watch for Gibbons here in the Triangle.
These two teams not meeting this season, but they both have really big Week 1 games. Rolesville's going down to Charlotte to play Mallard Creek. Gibbons is going to Greensboro to face Dudley. Jones throwing it, got a man open in the flat, but his knee hits the ground, and so he'll be marked down, and this should bring out the punting unit.
I'm glad you said that about the Week 1 opponents of both of these teams. I really like their approach to the non-conference schedules. Both of these teams not scared to really step out there and play some top-level competition. Like you said, Roseville going down to Mallard Creek. They're playing Providence Day. Cardinal Gibbons going down to Dudley, playing Greensboro. I think they're playing a team out of Virginia this year. So it should be a tough contest. Maury coming down here. So, yeah, they're going to test themselves early, which I like to see from local teams.
This is Tucker Toland back to punt for Cardinal Gibbons. Talk about both these teams having the ability to move the ball. Well, what if you're moving other things? If you need solutions for moving, storage, or junk removal, locally owned and operated company 2 Men and a Truck has you covered. All of 2 Men and a Truck's movers and haulers are background checked, uniformed, and insured. So visit 2menandatruck.com to get your move started today. And Jonas, a lot of seniors out on the field. Hey, don't forget about 2 Men in a Truck when it comes time to maybe move some kids off to college. Or let's say you have older siblings and they are having to move from one apartment to the other. 2 Men in a Truck has you covered. Why not? Have all those options that you have there. Background check, uniformed, and insured. Pretty good combination.
My sister's about to move. Maybe she can use 2 Men in a Truck.
Locally owned and operated. Why not? Williams throwing this out in the flat for the Rams, tackle first made there. It's Xavier Hassan.
Gavin Waddell, the Louisville commit out there on reception.
So both those guys with the number of offers are Gavin Waddell, as you said, Louisville commit. Xavier Hassan, first time we mentioned his name today, 6'1" corner who has a ton of D1 offers. You name it, they're a Power 4 team. They've checked in on him. Really good 40 time. And being 6'1", that'll get a lot of attention from those college recruiters. We should be moving the chains. The ref's trying to move the chains. They're a little reluctant to move, but now they go.
Well, he's going to have his work cut out for him today between Waddell and Roberts, Brown. He's definitely some talented receivers on the other side of the ball.
And Hassan playing more of a rover role here in high school, even though he is projected in a lot of cases as a corner. The throw in the flat and wrapped up and dropped. That was to Waddell again. Number of Gibbons defenders there. And this will be a 2nd and 9, so the forward progress does pick up a yard. You know, Jonas, we talked about this time of year you're trying to work out the kinks and get everyone on the same page. Rolesville bringing in a new quarterback, everything seemed really seamless so far. Caleb Williams, very comfortable with the timing with his receivers and getting to move the ball.
It goes to show the benefits of spending all summer together, going to camps, doing 7-on-7s and workouts. You know, football being a year-round sport now, and you're seeing it here early in the Jamboree.
Absolutely. Williams across the middle. Davis Brown, he's hit hard in the back. It's a few yards there. Hassan on the tackle.
Pretty impressive that Davis Brown, the FIU commit, held onto that ball. He took a shot. You saw his neck kind of snap back a little bit. But looked it in, brought it in. You know, I'm sure he grew up catching passes from his brother in the backyard like that. So great hand-eye coordination from Brown there.
Absolutely. So this will be 3rd and 7 for the Rams. We'll change out some personnel. Less than 5 minutes left here in the first half. Rolesville up 7-0. The Rams are preseason number 7 team in the state. And if you're thinking about just the teams that they would face in the 8A East, they're number 1 in that regard. Gibbons number 1 in the 7A East. The throw complete, and it'll be a first down, and fighting off a tackler, fighting off a second tackler, and refusing to go down until it's absolutely necessary on the far sideline.
A.J. Roberts.
Is A.J. Roberts.
Again, talking about talented receivers with offers. The number 1 receiver in the class of 2027 is his first grab of the day, and he's showing a little fight there. Didn't go down easy and was fighting guys off.
Well, Roberts and I believe Waddell in that state semifinal match last year both had a lot of run after the catch things, fighting off Gibbons' defensive backs. And really, they were the difference in that game. That was back and forth, and Gibbons would look like they were out, and they'd come back in. those receivers and what they do after the catch is really special. Handoff here. This is Trenton Presley on the left side. Steps out. And I think he's got a first down, and he does. We have a flag in the backfield in the direction of holding, and it is holding. About 3 minutes left in the first half here.
Presley's kind of built like Thomas was last year. Shorter guy, like a bowling ball coming down the hill on that sideline over there. But, one thing about Rolesville I've noticed in the last few years, they definitely reload. Just plug guys in who can just still play at a high level despite losing, a Division I running back, Division I receivers, Division I quarterback. They like to haven't missed much of a beat.
One of our sponsors here today is the U.S. Army. With more than 20 different career fields to choose from, U.S. Army officers receive financial aid for a debt-free education at one of the largest and most advanced organizations of learning in the world. Be all you can be. Visit GoArmy.com for more information today. That debt-free education, that's a big thing in today's world for sure.
Listen.
A number of guys I graduated with went to the Army. Different world from other people I graduated with when it comes to that debt-free education. Williams scrambling to his right on his first and a mile. He's got a lot of room to run. He's going to step out before taking a hit. That's smart in the preseason.
Yep. Yeah. Why? You save your body. No need to take that hit early, especially even though they can't touch you, we don't need to risk it.
2 minutes on the clock exactly, and he gets just beyond that original line of scrimmage. So now this will be a 2nd and 8. So took a first and forever and made it 2nd and manageable. Great crowd here at the High School T Jamboree, Trentini Stadium, one of the bigger stadiums in the state. Perfect to hold this large crowd who's enjoying the wonderful weather here in beautiful Wake Forest, North Carolina.
It's perfect night for football. Perfect setting, perfect weather.
It's a perfect night for anything. And if you're going to have plans, why not watch some football? Beats the alternative when watching football in August most weeks. In fact, the weather tomorrow is supposed to be raining. So
perfect.
We got 2 more games here tonight. Come on out. Buy your ticket on GoFan and get to watch 2 games for the price of one, just $10. You can even watch the rest of this one if you get here in a hurry. Less than a minute and a half remaining. Williams going to the air. He's taking a shot deep. Jump ball, picked off. Picked off in the end zone, and bringing it out will be, that's number 25. That'll be Truth Caesar. Telling no lies as he brings that to about the 30. One-on-one coverage. But Truth Caesar had the position, and he won the ball at the high point there, Jonas, to bring that in.
J. Mike, that might be the name of the year. That's going to be tough to beat right there. Truth Caesar. He's just a freshman. Oh no, Rossi is a freshman. That's the name of the year right there. You're not going to find a better name than Truth Caesar.
Gosh, man, that is pretty tough to beat. Truth Caesar. Do you think he circles true on all the true-false questions on his test? Just out of principle?
That's not a good way to pass your test.
That's out of principle. There's a flag in the direction of holding here as Gannon Jones takes off and scrambles. Did not have much time at all on that one. Gibbons, this is their 3rd drive of this half. And trying to get on the board. They have their work cut out for them. Absolutely. So now they'll have to go apparently 90 yards, and there's only 1 minute and 1 second left on the clock.
Well, we saw in the first game that one play 80-yard drive by Southern Durham. So, hey, it can be done. And we got a Division I quarterback here with arm who can make that throw.
I'll tell you that Hardest Central game that we had in Game 2, DJ Brown out there, everything's a scoring drive when he's on the field. Gibbons 4 wide. Gannon Jones, the Wake Forest quarterback. Rolesville not biting there on the early snap count.
Good catch.
Catch over the middle as hauled in by Connor McGeehan. Gets about the 19-yard line. 2nd and 10. Under 45 seconds left here in the second half. Trips to the left of Jones. Going through his progressions. kind of a broken play now. He'll take off and slide. Get down and try to go no huddle. We have a flag coming in for some other stuff away from the play.
That was a good slide, man. You tell the kids play baseball at some point.
that was a really good slide. A lot of quarterbacks have trouble with that, and you really need to have that in your bag.
Yeah. Like
especially later in the year when defenders are not as likely to let up. There's a little bit more on the line. The penalty will be on Rolesville, so mark it off after that completion. So with 27.9 seconds left in the first half, the Crusaders are going to have the ball at the 44-yard line.
I think it was Marquise Bryant after the play. Little extracurriculars back there in the defensive backfield. Again, a very, very animated rivalry here, Jay Mike.
Absolutely. I think these teams have enjoyed the competition that they have given one another. Jones over the middle, off the hands. Braden Karras almost had some running room if he had been able to haul that in clean. He's the leading returning receiver for Gibbons from last year. Good
call, too. Rolesville was dropping back into coverage. Gibbons had the two receivers cross right in front of each other, right across the middle of the field. Had the matchup he was looking for, he just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, last couple years, these two teams really needed to play each other non-conference because things got really easy when they got into conference play. This year, both of their conferences are a little bit more stacked than they previously did, or previously had it, so it should be good for them. Jones scrambling out to his left, getting out of bounds. Balls at the 47. That is just shy of a first down.
You know, one of the best qualities you can have as a quarterback is escapability, and Jones showed it right there. You know, it seemed like everything around him was chaos and was going wrong. We somehow bounced out of there and made a positive play for Cardinal Gibbons.
Yeah, you're never going to see a design run for Gannon Jones, but he'll have a good number of running yards each game because he can make the best out of those situations. 13 seconds left here in the first half of Game 3 out of 5 at the High School T Jamboree, presented by Alpaca Chicken, 2 Men in a Truck, and the U.S. Army. Jones, play action. He's going to be sacked.
I mean,
so there's a flag as the pushing happens after the play.
All right. At the end of the day, it's football, okay? They tackled your quarterback.
Yep.
These guys can't always remember the rules if not touching a quarterback in a jamboree.
Malachi Harris getting the sack, and yet it is tough to let up.
Right.
We know there's no penalty on the first time you do that. The second time you do that in this jamboree, then it's a flag. So we actually saw that in our second game, which Harton Central defeated Terry Sanford. Player for Terry Sanford got 2 sacks, but they were full contact tackles each time. He got flagged for the second one. I think the flag here is not for the sack, but for the pushing that came after it.
I do appreciate the Cardinal Gibbons offensive linemen coming to the protection of their quarterback. They weren't going to let someone slam them down or stand over them. They came and protected their guy. That's what you'd like to see. They definitely stood up for their guy in the situation. Again, a little bit of a rivalry here, a little animated. I'm going to keep using that word.
You may not like the unsportsmanlike penalty there, but you know, maybe you like the reason behind it, guys just trying to stand up for a teammate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does not help their current situation, however, and with 4.6 seconds left, we'll see if Gibbons will try to do something fancy, try to go deep, or just kind of run out the clock here in the first half. For the second time tonight, I can say this is a 3rd and Nightdale coming up.
3rd in my house.
3rd and the Jonas Pope 4th residence. You'll have to run through your front yard in order to reach the end zone.
There you go. Better make sure one of my doors aren't outside. Try to tackle them. Some discussion still going on with Coach Wright and the officials.
2 of the very best coaches in the triangle here, Rainier Rackley of Rolesville, and Coach Stephen Wright, Cardinal Gibbons. Wright has led Gibbons to 3 state championship games, won 1 of those. Rackley last year was the first time he had taken Rolesville to the state title game as a head coach, and he has coaching experience as an assistant in championships as well. punting unit comes out for Gibbons. So with 4.6 seconds left, assuming we can get a hang time that is decent, this will be the last play of this half. Pretty good distance. And we are at halftime here of Game 3 of the High School T Jamboree. I'm J. Mike Blake. We'll be back with the second half after this.
Are you craving chicken? Download the Alpaca Peruvian Chicken app to gain access to exclusive offers and earn rewards by eating the food that you love. New members who sign up will receive a free entree. Again, that's the Alpaca Peruvian Chicken app. Taste their legendary flavor and homemade pride at 18 locations across the Triangle, Fayetteville, Mebane, Wilmington, Sanford, and now Wilson. You can visit them online at alpacachicken.com and catch the Alpaca Chicken Game of the Week each Friday night on highschoolot.com.
It's more than a move. It's a new job for her. A new baseball team for him. And for Badger, it's a new yard with more room to roam. It's more than a move, and we're more than a truck.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough. Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I am American soldier.
Welcome back to the High School OT Jamboree, presented by Alpaca Chicken, 2 Men in a Truck, and the U.S. Army. This is our third game out of 5 here tonight, so stay with us throughout the evening. This one, some would say, is the headliner. Looking at the crowd, it's definitely got an interest of a lot of people. 2 top 10 teams, Rolesville and Cardinal Gibbons, going at it. Great talent on both sides. Only 1 touchdown to show for it in the first half. That came on a 1-yard touchdown run by Amir Brown. I am J. Mike Blake. I'll be with you the rest of the evening. After this, we've got Wake Forest and Middle Creek. And if you're old enough in my age range, nearing 40 or so, you can probably remember those 2 teams used to meet in the playoffs every year and have a nice little rivalry. So a little 2010 nostalgia. And then after that, we've got Southeast Raleigh and Millbrook playing each other. So just a great night of football. Not only the play on the field, but the weather here in lovely Wake Forest, North Carolina, could not be more perfect. A 3rd and short now coming up for Rolesville. They have looked pretty good here. The give, once again, I believe that's Amir Brown, but he's not going to make it here. And it is indeed Brown, the junior, committed to UNC. It's a 4th and 1, and although some of the crowd wanted them to go for it, they're going to bring out the punting unit, and this is Riley Daniels. We mentioned in the first half, Riley Daniels last year made the high school OT first team All-State as a specialist, and also made the high school OT All-State team in soccer. He was 2nd team in soccer, 1st team in football. He helped Rolesville football to one of its best seasons in school history, making the state championship for the 2nd time. And he led Rolesville soccer to its best season ever. They won 22 matches last year after having never had a winning season before. Timeout on the field. So we'll take this time to talk about one of our sponsors, Alpaca Peruvian Chicken, which I just had for the first time, and it is, gosh knows, I can't say enough good things about how great that was. Great rotisserie chicken. It is great, folks, for office lunches, team lunches, tailgating, football games. Place your next catering order with Alpaca so you and your friends can enjoy the best rotisserie chicken from one of their 18 locations across the Triangle, Fayetteville, Mebane, Wilmington, Sanford, and now Wilson. So again, Alpaca Peruvian Chicken.
I can't believe it's your first time having it.
It is my first time.
Yeah, well, it's only my 2nd time, so I'm not,
But you know what I'm going to do?
I'm not alpaca shaming you or anything
like
that.
Yeah, don't alpaca shaming. But if you are out there and you're like me, and you have yet to download that app, do so, because there are people out there in the parking lot right now that'll tell you, download the app, you get a free entree.
That's how I got it for the first time. I downloaded the app. Somebody posted it on social media, and I did it.
So after showing punt and then calling timeout, Rolesville goes for it, and they've got the first down. Amir Brown. Amir Brown is a guy who has been heavily recruited. He's been touted since his freshman year, which was at Cardinal Gibbons. And then the offers started pouring in, and now he's committed to UNC. But I tell you, last year, Jonas, he was splitting carries. This year, you can tell, he's the guy in the backfield. He's going to get a big numbers like he hasn't gotten in his career thus far.
Surprised to see him commit so early, but, sometimes kids, they know where they want to go. Why wait around and play around with it? But so good for him. Good block by him.
Yeah, he picked up pass protection pretty well there. Oh, no. Oh, no. We have a head-to-head collision. Quarterback was sliding. A Gibbons defender came in to hit, and I think he got his teammate, that's Griffin Cockerham, down on the field. We have some extracurricular stuff as people are upset about trying to hit quarterback Williams as he was sliding, and we don't need to see that. It's good to have a little back and forth, but
it's a serious matter on the field right now. That kid, he took a shot, some friendly fire from his own teammate, and everybody in the crowd immediately reacted to it, like, oh, took a deep breath. But this is serious. That kid took a shot laid out
That
on the
is-
turf right away. Good to see. A good sign is like after it happened, he saw his arms moving a little bit. He kind of put his arms around his chest, but man, that was scary for a second there.
That is Griffin Cockerham. He has Division I offers, one of the best two-way players for Gibbons, and he got the worst of that hit. And he's going to have medical staff checking him out. There's 21 minutes still to play here in the second half of this third game in the High School T Jamboree. And we are going to take a break here. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's your time to move things forward. U.S. Army Reserve.
It's more than a move. It's a new job for her. A new baseball team for him. And for Badger, it's a new yard with more room to roam. It's more than a move, and we're more than a truck.
Alpaca Peruvian Chicken is great at office lunches, team lunches, tailgating, and football games. Place your next catering order at Alpaca so you and your friends can enjoy the best rotisserie chicken in the area. Taste their legendary flavor and homemade pride at 18 locations across the Triangle, Fayetteville, Mebane, Wilmington, Sanford, and now Wilson. Alpaca Peruvian Chicken, home of North Carolina's favorite chicken and a proud supporter of high school OT and football teams across the state.
We are back at the High School T Jamboree, and Griffin Cockerham he's up on his feet, he's walking. He took a helmet-to-helmet hit from a teammate as Caleb Williams, the quarterback of Rolesville, was out of the pocket. He slid, and you're supposed to let up and not hit the quarterback. A Gibbons defender instead still couldn't hold up and wound up hitting his teammate helmet-to-helmet. So we are going to resume play. Very scary situation when he was laid out almost immediately, but thankfully is up and walking. But I guarantee you that's the last we're seeing of Griffin Cockerham tonight. We don't need anything going on there when you have a head injury, so he's done for the evening.
Yeah, good. A bright side was he did walk off on his own. He definitely looked woozy. I mean, obviously so, but he did walk off. That's a great sign. No one needed any stretchers, no ambulance, anything. So that's a good start. But like you said, take his pads off, take his helmet, he's done for the night.
Yep.
You don't want to see that anytime, but you definitely don't want to see it during a jamboree.
Also hope cooler heads prevail, because it's kind of fun to have a little rivalry and a competition out there. But, of course, some Rolesville players, understandably, taking exception to what could have been a bad hit for their quarterback. Because I tell you what, that hit, if it had landed on Caleb Williams will be the one coming out of this game. Not a good situation, but hopefully everyone's calmed down a little bit, because we still have 21 minutes and 11 seconds left in this contest. You're looking at the High School T Jamboree presented by Alpaca Chicken, 2 Men and a Truck, and the U.S. Army. I am J. Mike Blake, joined by Jonas Pope IV. And Rolesville is holding a 7-0 lead in a matchup of two teams that we have ranked in the top 10 of the state going in to the 2025 season, which will officially kick off in 2 weeks on August 22nd. Williams, there's a corner blitz coming off the edge. He was touched, but they don't call it, and he's going to get a first down.
I tell you what, that's something Rolesville hasn't had the last couple of years. You know, Braden Atkinson was great in the pocket, great pocket passer, knew the offense, but they haven't had that dual threat. And this is something that's going to add to the explosiveness and the effectiveness of the Rolesville offense.
So, number 5, Hudson Van Dyke, coming on the corner blitz that time. You saw him talking to the ref like, hey, I got a hand on him. So, in part of the Jamboree rules, we have a running clock, no live returns on punts, no rushing the kick on a field goal, an extra point try. And also, when you touch the quarterback, they're supposed to be down. So, that's why he was petitioning there. This is a handoff to Brown. He's tackled pretty quickly.
So what's the rules? Is it two-hand touch, one-hand touch, get a fingernail on him, like judgment called by the refs? Like, what is it here?
Well, I think these referees are just so. Sometimes we've seen one-hand touch being called, other times two.
I got an idea. Put a flag on him next year.
There we go.
Put a flag on the quarterbacks.
That'd be even trickier trying to get that. You're not used to doing that. The ball is right at midfield. 2nd and 7 for the Rams. Now members of the Cap 8 conference. Of the middle blitz, and they're going to blow this one dead. Skylar Alston on the sack. Be a loss. The sophomore linebacker getting in there.
6'2", 210 sophomore. I'm gonna tell you what, J. Mike. They don't build them like that in Northampton County as sophomores.
Yeah.
And also, he'd be an offensive lineman where I'm from.
Alston with a number of Division I offers already as a sophomore.
I can see why. He exploded up the middle and broke up the offensive line to get back there in the backfield.
Earlier today, in Game 1 of the High School T Jamboree, we saw Southern Durham defeating Corinth Holders 20-12. Corinth Holders will actually be in Rolesville's conference next year, so we have a timeout on the field. Also, we have teams like Millbrook that are going to be in that Rolesville conference, and we'll see Millbrook a little bit later tonight. We'll get more into the new conferences coming up this year as we go along. We also want to mention one of our sponsors here tonight is 2 Men in a Truck. And if you need solutions for moving, storage, or junk removal, locally owned and operated company 2 Men in a Truck has you covered. All of 2 Men in a Truck's movers and haulers are background checked, uniformed, and insured. Visit 2meninatruck.com to get your move started today. And Rolesville trying to move this ball forward. 3rd and some distance here. We'll call it 16.
You do a great job of the transition from the 2 men in a truck to moving into the play on the field. I just want to commend you for that on air. I just want to say it on record that you're doing a great job of those transitions.
So natural for football, right?
Absolutely.
Moving, you move backwards on penalties, you move forwards on big plays. 2 Men in a Truck just move you where you need to be when you need it. So after a timeout here, Rolesville, see Big Davis Brown playing an H-back role there in the backfield. Kind of give Williams some extra time. The ball does get out there, and it's caught, avoiding the first tackler and the second tackler, and getting out of bounds close to a first down marker. It's tough for me to see the numbers. That is number 17. That is Caleb Kearney.
He looks the part. You know, set out last year. He also has some Division I offers at ECU, VC, Virginia Tech. He's showing why. I mean, for a guy who missed all last year with an injury, he looks like he's picked up right wherever he left off, and he's going to be a great filler in that third receiver for the Rams.
Looks like he's coming up cramping there. The punt team will come out for Rolesville. We'll take this opportunity to tell you about another one of our sponsors here tonight, the U.S. Army. With more than 20 different career fields to choose from, U.S. Army officers receive financial aid for a debt-free education at one of the largest and most advanced organizations of learning in the world. Be all you can be. Visit GoArmy.com for more information today. That kick will give the Crusaders the ball back right inside the 20. They are trailing 7-0. Last year, Gibbons was here at the High School T Jamboree. They had some guys banged up. They sat some starters. It was close to the beginning of the season. This year, because we are a few weeks out, a lot of these starters and first-string guys getting a lot more reps across the board. That being said, Jonas, we do have a second-teamer in there right now. It's Connor Lindsay, the backup quarterback for the Crusaders, who's actually at Carborough High School as a freshman, did not play football that year, then transferred to Gibbons. Last year was the first year he played football for Gibbons. But he did get some snaps in a number of games, especially Gibbons' conference schedule last year. They had enough blowouts. Lindsay got pretty good reps there as the backup. That handoff, I believe that is to Aaron Anderson. He is dropped pretty quickly by number 11, who we do not have on the roster.
Again, this is what you want to see in these situations. When you see some reps, some guys who may not see the field, or some guys you still want to know some things about. But it looks like, for the most part, Rolesville still have the starters in on defense. They still trying to keep the shutout going.
Well, I think Gibbons has all their ones in except for Gannon Jones coming out and Connor Lindsay coming in, and a change at running back, Aaron Anderson in there instead of Noah Terry from earlier. And Rolesville defensive line swallowing up Anderson in the backfield.
I remember talking to Rackley in the preseason. He said he felt like his defensive line this year was better than the one he had last year.
Whoa.
And, yeah, exactly. Fries, he's at Boston College. Xavier Lewis
At UNC.
at UNC.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. It's a bold statement to say, but they look like on that play there.
Jaden Colson, big number 91, helping win the point of attack there. Be 3rd and long, 3rd and 12. We're on 17. Lindsey will have to air it out here. Play action. Over the middle, hits, I think it hit a defensive lineman in the back. Deflected and goes north and then south onto the grass for an incomplete pass.
Again, Rackley talked about that defensive line. Said it was better this year. And these last few drives, they've really been getting after it.
I think also they had their ears pinned back.
Yep.
The play action did not stop them whatsoever. Actually, they got there even earlier.
Yep. Like I said, Kevin Reddick dialed it up right there. And they got right into the backfield with relatively ease.
Tucker Tolan comes in to punt this one away for the Crusaders. We're still looking to get on the board as we are under 15 minutes left here in Game 3 of the High School T Jamboree. It's fielded, and so Rolesville will take over.
So with 14:20 remaining, clock is running. See if Rolesville can kind of pad that lead up here a little bit. Or if Gibbons can buckle down and get a stop and make this thing interesting in the last 15 minutes here.
All right, we thank you for tuning in tonight to the High School T Jamboree. We hope you can join us in person next Friday at Southeast Raleigh's Bulldog Bash, powered by High School OT. The action kicks off at 6 o'clock p.m., featuring Knightdale versus Cary. That's followed by Sanderson versus Wilson Prep. Then it's Garner versus Wake Forest and Jordan versus Southeast Raleigh to finish things off. For more details on the Bulldog Bash, visit highschoolot.com. So of those 8 teams we just listed, we will see 2 more of those coming up tonight here, Wake Forest and Southeast Raleigh. After this game, Wake Forest takes on Middle Creek, and then our last game of the evening, Southeast Raleigh takes on Millbrook. 13:28 left in this one. Rolesville with a 7-0 lead. The throw is to Davis Brown, another missed tackle. Fighting his way for more yardage, daring someone to try to take him down one-on-one, and a first down for the Rams.
That's a guy who caught the ball and was seeking contact.
Yes.
Was not trying to go out of bounds. He was looking for a white jersey to try and stop him on that play.
As you need a few people to bring down Davis Brown. And I like the way they use him in the formation.
Yep.
He's kind of lined up as an H-back a few times.
And shout out to him. Moved to offensive line last year when he had some injuries. Went from the H-back position to a offensive lineman. That's a lot. A lot of kids wouldn't make that sacrifice, but he did it for the team.
Back now, wrapped up in the backfield. The referees blow the whistle. Again, you're not supposed to hit the quarterback here. If you make enough contact, I guess it's up to the referee's discretion. Make enough contact, they'll stop the play. So Williams will lose a few yards, making that tackle on defense. That's number 99, Jeremiah Glass for the Crusaders. 2nd and 13. Ball is at the Gibbons 46. And here's a handoff for the Rams. That is number 3. That's Trenton Presley.
No,
He gets across the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 9 now.
I've noticed the last few years with Rolesville, you're going to get 2 backs. You know, it's not going to be one guy who's going to get all the bulk of the carries. Even though we know Brown is the guy this year, but Presley's going to get his reps, and he's looking really good in touching these guys.
Third and 9. Handoff is to Presley again. Crusaders are ready for that one, however, and he's brought down for no gain. Xavier Hassan, number 7, on that play, as well as number 22. That is Luke Strother. Luke Strother, Xavier Hassan, and 4th and 9 coming up for Rolesville.
Gibbons still got a chance here. They got to get a spark going. They got a chance to really get back, tie this thing up, make it interesting down the stretch.
So this punt, this is not Riley Daniels back there for the Rams. Different person. And with that, we'll take a quick break. Be right back after this.
Are you craving chicken? Download the Alpaca Peruvian Chicken app to gain access to exclusive offers and earn rewards by eating the food that you love. New members who sign up will receive a free entree. Again, that's the Alpaca Peruvian Chicken app. Taste their legendary flavor and homemade pride at 18 locations across the Triangle, Fayetteville, Mebane, Wilmington, Sanford, and now Wilson. You can visit them online at alpacachicken.com and catch the Alpaca Chicken Game of the Week each Friday night on highschoolot.com.
It's more than a move. It's a new job for her. A new baseball team for him. And for Badger, it's a new yard with more room to roam. It's more than a move, and we're more than a truck.
I am American soldier.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough. Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I am American soldier.
Welcome back to the High School OT Jamboree here at Wake Forest High School. We're in game 3 out of 5, just under 10 minutes. Cardinal Gibbons, you see there, they have the ball. It's a second-ish short coming up. 2 backs in the backfield, and they'll give it. This is Noah Terry. Shaking off one tackler just enough to get the first down. Gibbons here still trying to get on the board. Both defenses, Jonas. Yes, Rolesville leads 7-0, but both defenses have not really given a whole lot. That first drive when Rolesville was kind of, no huddle, complete, and then all of a sudden a short yardage touchdown by Amir Brown. Since then, it's been a stalemate.
Yeah, I mean, this time of the year, the defense is usually ahead of the offenses anyway, and that's what's kind of to be expected. And these are 2 elite defenses already, so the 7-0 score is not surprising. And it's like Rolesville has kind of put some of the reserves in as well, so building some depth here at Jamboree.
Terry with another carry. Clock is now under 9 minutes. Second at about 4. Here at the High School OT Jamboree after this. Stay with us throughout the night. Of course, all these games that we've had here today, the stories, photo galleries will be going up on highschoolot.com. You can watch the replay of these games. We have Southeast Raleigh Millbrook as the last game of the night, and then right after this one, we've got Wake Forest and Middle Creek. Connor Lindsay, the quarterback for Gibbons, throws it just in the dirt to end that one. He was under pressure so fast.
Again, I use the phrase, you get those live bullets. That's a speed and it's something you can't simulate in practice. You got guys coming at you like that. So if you're Stephen Wright, you got to see you want to see how he's going to react in these situations. And this would be good for you down the road if you got to put him in there. If Gannon Jones, if something happens, he can't go.
Yeah, and it's not even major injuries, right? It's what if someone has to miss a drive and you need to rely on someone else?
Comes off,
yeah,
like that.
Right. Helmet goes off and it's a big third down.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Boom,
Lindsay throwing incomplete, a little bit behind Aaron Anderson, and it will be 4th down for the Crusaders. This year on High School OT, we're going to have a game of the week presented by Alpaca Peruvian Chicken. That is going to be your home for the biggest games of the state every Friday night. We're getting things going on August 22nd with a Week 1 showdown at the Sandhills between Terry Sanford, who we saw here tonight, against the defending 3A state runner-up 71st. Again, that's the High School OT Game of the Week presented by Alpaca Peruvian Chicken, streamed live on High School OT.
There's some big games Week 1 this year. And again, I love how the non-conference matchups this year are just amazing.
Yep. New classifications, new conferences for everyone, and gosh, some really exciting matchups across the board. We mentioned earlier Rolesville going to the Cap 8 conference. Here's what that means. They're going to be in there with Corinth Holders out of Johnston County. We saw them in game 1 today, falling to Southern Durham 20-12. They're also going to be in there with Broughton, Enloe, Millbrook, Wakefield, Leesville Road. So pretty good conference top to bottom. that Rolesville's in, deeper than it was last year, even though there are some of the same teams. Cardinal Gibbons, on the other hand, they were in that cap last year. They're getting switched around a little bit, where the only familiar conference opponent is Sanderson. They're now in the Triangle 6. So you have Sanderson, Felton Grove, which will not have varsity football this year, just JV, Holly Springs, Middle Creek, and Cary. So I think that Holly Springs, Middle Creek, that's going to be a little bit better competition for Gibbons than what they've had in the past couple of years, where it always came down to them and Leesville and a few other games that weren't as close, especially the last 2 or so years.
Yeah, I haven't really taken a deep dive into the conference stuff like coach like you and Joel and Evan have. Kind of glanced at it, but I like it. I like the way the conferences are kind of shaped out. Like I said, a little bit more even across the board for most of these leagues.
It's taken me a while to get used to it, a while to embrace it as well.
I was going to ask you how long it took you to figure it out to get it down pat.
Only now am I better at the classifications.
Okay.
The conferences are still going to take me a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Conference names are, by the large part, pretty cool, though. Can't even argue with a name like Swine Valley down in the hog farm area, eastern North Carolina. Great names. A really good run, hard run there by Rolesville. Picks up the first down. It's number 22, Taj Anderson, moving the chains. I think we are here as the clock ticks under 5 minutes. We are seeing a lot of the second stringers for both sides. Like you said, Jonas, second string hits a little bit different when you have teams like this that have championship hopes.
Yep. Gotta have depth.
You need depth to win a championship, to make it through all those playoff games. Later on in the year, you never know what's going to happen. Rolesville right now, again, you can see they're ranked number 7 in the state in high school OT, top 25. They are the number 1 ranked team if you just look at those in the 8A East. Gibbons is number 5. They are number 1 if you look at those teams in the 7A East. Broken play there, a little bit of miscommunication on the play action. Bring up third down. In at quarterback right now is, I believe it's number 16, Dylan Martin. It is. Clock is now under 4 minutes. Ball at the 47. These two teams have met 4 times in the last 2 years. Once in the regular season and once in the deep rounds of the playoffs. And a sack there by Cardinal Gibbons. That's Will Sims, number 18, that gets a hand on the quarterback, almost unblocked on that one. So we'll set up a fourth down. There is a flag on the play for something that happened downfield after the sack. And they're going to pick it up. So the punting unit will come out for Rolesville. Gibbons to receive this punt under 3 minutes. Still trying to make it on the scoreboard here. And a pretty good punt if it can stay inside, and does not. And a flag coming out there after some contact on a non-returnable punt. That was Jethro Onman. Jethro Onman with the punt there. Pretty good backup punter for Rolesville. You got Riley Daniels, the All-State guy. But Jethro's got a leg on him.
I feel like there's a Green Acres joke somewhere to make, but I can't find it right now.
We are dating ourselves that we understand that reference,
man.
You know?
Yeah. I tried, but it felt forced. So I'm like, nah, I won't do it.
They're picking up the flag, so only 2 minutes left here. Game 1 today was won by Southern Durham, 20-12. 3 passing touchdowns by Tyson Broadway. New quarterback in here for Gibbons as Mason Karras. Game 2 was all Harnett Central, 31-7. 3 receiving touchdowns by DJ Brown in that one. And now here in our third game out of 5, the high school team Jamboree presented by Alpaca Chicken to Men in a Truck and the U.S. Army. It is 7-0. Definitely our best defensive game, both sides. I'm sure both offenses wish they were a little bit sharper, but you got to give credit to the defenses here. And moving the pile is Aaron Anderson. He gets the first down.
Well, the good news is it's just the first test.
It is.
They'll get opportunities again to get back on the field and kind of fine-tune. You know, they go back to practice this week, watch film, fine-tune some things. They'll each get another test next week before the real games start on the 22nd.
I was a little bit early on that, awarding that first down. It's actually 3rd and short here. 1 minute 15 seconds left in this contest. Only 2 halves of 24-minute running clocks. Good burst, good cutback there on that carry by Anderson. And that'll be a first down. Gibbons trying to go no huddle at Piers, trying to run up to the line of scrimmage. We do not have overtime or anything like that here at the high school T Jamboree, so if Gibbons were to score, they could go for 2 or the win or go for the tie. I don't think anyone's going for wants a tie, though, right?
No,
for a
absolutely not.
For a Jamboree. But they still have 62 yards in front of them, and now 50 seconds. Throw from Karras to Anderson is complete, and he carries that tackler across the first down marker. The ball is at the 49. We're under 45 seconds left. Clock stopping with first downs here in the final minute. So Karras, a sophomore, not to be confused with Braden Karras, the wide receiver. Looking pretty good here with his arm and leg, or legs, multiple. Need 2 of them to run. Anderson on the carry over the right side, and he stopped just across the line of scrimmage, and this will be a timeout by Cardinal Gibbons. The Crusaders 12-2 last year, both losses coming to this Rolesville team. The Rams, likewise, only lost 2 games last year, both to the same team. They lost in a high school T game of the week to Grimsley High School, and then that's who they faced in the 4A championship last year, and Grimsley won that one. If Grimsley were to meet one of these teams in the state championship this year, it has to be Gibbons, because Grimsley is 7A, just like the Crusaders. Rolesville now 8A. So we mentioned earlier, there is a defending champion in 8A. It's West Charlotte. When that last realignment period started, West Charlotte was in a smaller building, so it was 3A. Then they moved into a big building, so their student body naturally grew. They got rid of the old one, moved into a new one. So all of a sudden, they are 8A size, playing last year in the 3A classification. One of the topics that sure to come up this year is how often they realign. People want to speed it up for reasons like that. Do it every 2 years instead of every 4. Lindsey's back in, throws to Anderson. Ball comes out. I don't know if the ruling is an incompletion or if he caught it and then fumbled out of bounds. We'll see here in a second. Either way, the clock is stopped with 13.4.
Roseville coaches celebrated like it was an incompletion, but let's see. It was a big hit regardless.
I think they were happy for whoever delivered that hit on the sideline.
Man, that's what you want to see, man.
And it is catching a fumble, yeah.
Second and third string guys that are still laying the wood, hitting hard out there. Because, again, you're building depth. You're seeing who can earn these reps in practice and potentially help you in a game down the road.
Clock back rolling, since that's not a first down, that even though the fumble went out of bounds. Lindsey throwing deep. He's got a man, and he's going to break a tackle. The 10, a 5, touchdown! Alex Rodriguez with a catch, and there's no time left. 51 yards. They're going for 2 and the win. After being stopped all game, Gibbons with a big play. Right at the end, Alex Rodriguez making some guys miss after the catch. It is now 7-6. No time on the clock. Again, no time on the clock. We talked about it earlier, Jonas. Why in the world would you kick an extra point? They're not. They're going to choose to be on the right hash and go for 2 and the victory here. Lindsay looking over the middle, incomplete. Rolesville holds on. Even in the preseason, these two cannot help but play a classic game.
That's it. I mean, it's something about Rolesville and something. Look at them celebrating in the end zone. Look at, I mean, they're rallying around the younger guys who made the stop. I do like to see that. That's fine. That's fine. No issue with that.
They even met.
To the untrained eye, you would think they were celebrating a state championship. What a game, though.
Even when they meet in a 7-on-7 in summer a year ago, it came down to the final play. These two, what can you say? What a way to end Game 3 of the high school OT Jamboree. Rolesville defeating Gibbons by a 7-6 score. Up next here, folks, we're going to have Middle Creek and Wake Forest take the field. Our 4th game out of 5 of the high school OT Jamboree presented by Alpaca Chicken, 2 Men in a Truck, and the U.S. Army. We'll be back in just a little bit.